white girl in India, of course I eat a dosa with like a knife and fork.
Do you know about Travis Head?
I do know about Travis Head.
What's his problem?
What's his problem? What's his problem? He's like the best. I went on with a German guy and he's like, yeah, Elena, what is your 5-year financial plan? I do remember when I actually came to Mumbai for the first time, 2023, and I was single at that time, and I downloaded Bumble, and within 4 hours of being on Bumble, I had 19,000 matches. Like.
Hi Elena, my name is Abby and welcome to Mirchi Studios.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This
Or
is
shall
so
I
cool.
say, welcome to Chandigarh.
Yes, welcome to Chandigarh. My first time in Chandigarh. I'm very excited.
So what's your first experience coming to Chandigarh, apart from like visiting other cities in India?
I mean, it's just been the airport so far, but I'm looking forward to exploring a little bit more of Chandigarh today after this. But I have spent a little bit of time in Patiala, so it's like kind of close. I know not the same city. And it's been nice to kind of just immerse myself in Punjabi. Like I'm hearing Punjabi music everywhere I go. Like it's amazing. Seeing a lot of Canadian flags, Australian flags on cars, which is very nice. So I feel at home. It's nice. And it's super. It's so far super cool.
So you've been to Patiala, you've been to Chandigarh now,
Yes.
right? I'm sure you must have tried some Punjabi food.
Yes. What is Punjabi food? I've had paratha. I've had a lot
Which
of this.
paratha?
Aloo.
Aloo paratha.
Potato.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I'm learning. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there. And what else have I had this week? I mean, the last few days I've had a bit of food poisoning, which has not been ideal, but it's my little stomach getting used to the water here. But yeah, it's I don't know the other food that I've had so far. The fried bread with the
Chole bhature.
Yes, this one. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. But
So
very
is there any favorites added to your list?
Favorites added to my list. I think I would say my favorite food in India is obviously dal tadka. Like that's because my partner loves it, so I've kind of acquired that taste. And dal makhani. Like I'm slowly getting used to all the different kind of foods here. But tandoor, I love tandoor as well. Like chicken, like tandoor and stuff is very, very good. Like yeah.
And tell me, after watching your social media, I just want to know, have you learned properly how to eat dosa and golgappa or the pani puri, Because that was a really, really clever rage bait. Like eating pani puri from spoon. You could have been jailed for that.
I know. And I'm glad I filmed that. Actually, I did film that in India, but the one of me eating the dosa with a knife and fork, I filmed in London. So I'm sure there everyone was like, oh, like, normal. Like it's probably like the Indian people there were like, what the hell? But I think it started when my friend in Mumbai it was like that kind of viral trend that was going around of like, like white girl in India. Of course I eat a dosa with like a knife and fork. And so I started doing that. And then someone commented on and said, oh, you should eat pani puri with a spoon. And then someone else has said, now you should eat pani puri with a straw. So I think that might be the next one, just for a bit of rage bait. I think it would be nice.
Okay. And you've been to India before as well, right?
Yes.
Is there any favorite place in India specifically that you want to revisit?
Oh, I gotta say, I went to the Wagah border like about I think 2 years ago, and I don't know, I loved it. Like the vibe, like everything, like it was such a show, a spectacle. And so I'd really like to go back there and just sort of see it again because I think it was like such an interesting experience. I've also been up to Dharamshala, which I loved in the mountains. So I've seen a lot, but I really want to see a bit more east of the country and a bit more south as well, which I haven't done. So that's next. Yeah, been stuck to the north a lot.
So your favorite place, as you recommended, was Wagah border that you would like to revisit.
Yeah.
How was the like flavor of that place, Wagah border, like India, Pakistan, the two arch rivals in the whole world, not just sports, but in reality as well.
Yeah, and it was like, but it was such a cool thing because I think you hear so much rivalry between India and Pakistan, and obviously I get that there is, but there it kind of felt like playing with each other and like taking the flag down. Like it was really, I don't know, I found it really special that like you're able to still like have this moment with Pakistan. I know it's like, a lot of history, but it was just really fun. And to be on the Indian side, I have a friend who is living in Pakistan, and he used to go to that side, and there's very little people on that side, and then you look at India's side, there's like 30,000-40,000 people like every day. It's just all shouting like Hindustan, like it's you kind of get involved in it. It was very special. I loved it. So
all right.
yeah.
So tell me, when did you started about comedy, like professionally?
Professionally, I've been performing professionally for about I want to say 18 years. So it's
18?
been yeah, I'm an old girl.
I'll not ask about your age.
Yeah, please don't. But I started with sort of musical cabaret, and I studied musical theatre at university in Australia. And then I sort of started doing a lot of the Fringe network, so Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which I actually think a lot of now Indian comics are going over and doing really well, winning awards over there, which is great. So I started doing the festival circuit, Edinburgh and in Australia, and then I just always wanted to do sort of proper stand-up because I was doing more musical comedy.
Okay.
And then I just kind of, I moved from Australia to Germany and which is not really the place you really move to if you want to do comedy, but does it really make sense?
Is Germany really that serious?
It can be if you're doing shows to very German people.
Okay.
I've had a lot of that face when you're trying to make them laugh. But I think a lot of the people who speak English are they're really cool, and they've got a weird sense of humor. The Germans, once you get them drunk, and they're a lot of fun.
So all it takes is a beer.
Exactly. It's two different people, from sober Germans to drunk Germans, very different. But they're super fun. And so I started my stand-up journey then. And then I started working with an American comic, and we started touring all around the world. So 2018, which is the first time I came to India and did some comedy shows. In that year, I did 360 shows in 360 shows in 65 countries in 1 year.
In 1 year?
Mm-hmm. Every day I was traveling.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was
Have
crazy.
you tried for Guinness Book of World Records?
I have got, I've done Guinness World Record stuff before, but you have to document everything. And at this point, when you're traveling every day, you're in countries and this. And through that, I was able to be on stage every night, performing to different crowds, different cultures. And that was such an amazing experience. So, yeah, it was opened my eyes to a lot of the world. Did Africa, shows in Africa, parts of Middle East, everywhere. It was very cool.
So how's the Australian audience receptive to stand-up comedy?
I'm...
Are they even tougher than Germans?
I would say they're tougher for me because I am Australian. I feel if you are from the country and you're trying to make your own people laugh, I feel you have to be it's a different thing. Or maybe now my style of comedy is very different.
Is there a kind of judgment call?
Yeah, I think we have this. I don't know if India have it as well, but it's a tall poppy syndrome, we call it, where if someone is doing better than you, you have to kind of pull them back down and make sure they're in the same...
So it's not just India, it's worldwide.
Yeah, it's worldwide. I think it's a worldwide thing. I hear this all the time, but people have different words for it. So every time I get in front of an Aussie audience, I think sometimes I'm maybe too American style or too kind of confident. Australian style of comedy is very slow, very, you understand, you watch cricket, I'm sure you've seen a lot of commentators, they're very mate, we're just gonna it's all that kind of very, very low talking and low energy, which is just not me. I'm very in your face, fun energy.
So I believe that kind of comedy is more like American comedy.
Yes. Yes, which I think American style of comedy that really, you sort of have to be confident. I'm not a slow talking comic. I'm very much let's all have fun and have a party. That's my vibe. But yeah, the American style, and I had to learn when I went to America for the first time, I had to learn how to do comedy in America because that's very different. Because American audiences, you have to be so overconfident and you have to walk out and be what's up, Chicago? And they're yeah. You really have to meet them on the same level and keep their attention span that sort of every 30 seconds, just hitting them with a joke or a punchline.
So every punch should be coming after 30 seconds and all.
rolling. That's the style that they're used to, which I do more storytelling. So it was a little bit difficult at first. Plus I only had stories about Germans, and when I was doing shows in the Deep South, they didn't really know what
So you talked about Germans, you talked about Australians.
Yeah.
Tell me, which is the toughest audience to make laugh?
Ooh, toughest audience. I'm gonna say New Zealanders. So for
New
me,
Zealanders?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why they're like Aussies, but a little bit more in New Zealand. They're a little bit more conservative, I think. So yeah, I always found those audiences very difficult. So, but it also depends if you have the same. If you have the material, when I do shows in India, I really have to adapt my material for an Indian like audience, which also makes it easier because my partner is Indian, so
Right.
I have a lot of material, and it keeps coming, so which is great.
You have a test audience right at home.
Exactly. Yeah. Or I'll be like, why is he doing that? Or he'll say to me, why do you do that? Like, and it's a very interesting kind of like cross culture because we've met abroad and then, now coming to Patiala, his hometown, for the first time and going like, oh, now I see where you come from and all this sort of stuff. So yeah.
Why all these things? Why all these habits?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, why do you do that? Yeah.
And tell me, which was the most toughest show of your life, where the audience was not even smirking?
Oh, that was a show. That was a show I did in Berlin. That's where I was living at. I got booked for like a fundraising gig by this girl, and it was at 2 a.m. in the morning. My set time started.
2 a.m.?
2 a.m. Right, which should have been the first red flag. I should have been like, I'm not going to this. And it was far out of the city, and it was in one of these old punk squat houses. Like, so you can imagine it was just a bunch of German punks, like like full mohawk, like leather thing. At 2 o'clock in the morning in this like random club in Berlin, and I was there, and I don't even think half of them spoke English, so I was just there, and like I was getting like nothing, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like walk off the stage. Like, it was so bad. Like,
How long that lasted?
Yeah, like too long. I think the set was like 15 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours. Like, it was so bad, and I'm just like, and but those moments build you,
Right.
as a comic. Like, you have to do those bad rooms, you have to do different audiences, different places to really, I think, make you a better comic, I think. Yeah.
And which was the best show?
Best show I've ever done. Good question, actually. Best show, like, I think I did one. I find Canadians and Australians are very similar. So I feel like there was a show I did in Calgary, and that was like amazing. But actually, no, I think it was in Vancouver. I had a best friend who was living there, and she came to the show, and it was one of the biggest shows I'd ever done with like 500-600 people there. And it was just like super fun because I knew she was in the audience, and I was telling jokes about her and me, and so like she was like, oh, like, so that was a pretty fun experience. So when you can, I think, really sell abroad or you do shows, it feels even more special. Like, yeah.
And how do you, you told me that you adapt according to the country, right?
Yes.
How do you adapt according to the Indian audience? Like, what kind of jokes you have to get in and what things you need to be careful about?
Yes. So I think here definitely, like I even say this in my show, I'm not a religious or political comedian. Like I don't think I have any background knowledge on either of those things in India. So mainly, I talk about dating and like that's kind of been my like niche of comedy, like dating storytelling. And for me, it's also talking to the audience and getting their perspective because on dating here in India, because it's very different to how like I've kind of grown up. Like, even here when you have like, now love marriages and arranged marriages, like that's such a weird concept to me growing up. And now I ask my audience, like, like, what is an arranged marriage? Are you arranged? And they tell me things about their life, which I think gives me more material as well. And yeah, I think just fascinating. I try and relate or just see things when I come to India and I'm like, oh, that's so strange, like how you guys do this or like, or compared to me and then just try and write jokes about that. Like, and like I have a big set of all Indian stuff, which I can't do anywhere else in the world. So whenever I come back here, I'm like, yes, I get to do those jokes because it's just stuff that, I think you have to write as well. When you go to a new city or country, you have to really, or at least kind of, like do a few jokes that kind of get the audience going like, oh, okay, you understand who we are. But I'm also half Italian and I think a lot of people say that Italians and Indians are very similar. So in a lot of ways. So
how are Italians and Indians similar?
So it's very much like we're very dramatic. Like I feel like Indians, Italians, very dramatic. We
doing
always,
like such things.
Yeah, talking with your hands, like over the top, like eating with our hands, like very this. All the men still live at home with their parents, so it's like a same situation for us. And family is a big thing. So I feel like just even little things of like how you kind of all eat together and sort of be together as a family is very similar, I think, to Italians. So
tell me, like you have a set prepared for India.
Yes.
Your partner is an Indian.
Yes.
Tell me that what's the most Indian thing that you have observed?
The most Indian thing I've observed, in my time here. Oh gosh, my my favorite thing was this is when I first sort of came back in 2023, and I never understood like doing the head nod and being like yes or no. Like I never understood this, and I was like, how can people communicate in this way? And I was in Bombay, and I was in a parked car with my friend driving, and then there was another car like sort of next to, and the windows were all up, and they had a full conversation just like this, like how to move the car, do everything, and I was like, oh my God, that's magic. Like, that's insane. Like, there's no words being spoken, like closed windows, and just everything is communicated by your head. I was like, this is amazing.
This is the next level communication happening.
Yeah. I was like, telepathy, what is this? Like, it was such a cool thing to witness. I was like, damn, okay, I've got to learn this secret language one day. This is amazing.
So as we were talking in the conference room, you stated that after COVID, the comedy scene, especially in India, has like been out of bubble, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, are you following some Indian comedians?
Yes, I follow a lot. I mean, I have many friends in Mumbai that are like comedians, and I like stay with them, my best friends there. But I mean, the comedy scene, I think in the last couple of years has just gone crazy. Like I started doing shows in Mumbai in Indie Habitat, like Habitat there, and watching sort of Sam Irana's like rise to fame has just been like, you know, I've done a couple of shows with him at Habitat, and just sort of 2 years ago, and then just like watching him kind of now playing like Madison Square Garden like this year, like it's amazing. And I think India is such a funny country. There's so much material here. And also you have the diaspora also outside of India that you can tap into. And I just think it's like, yeah, it's amazing. So watching all of these people being able to travel the world and do comedy, and yeah, it's super cool.
So apart from Samirana, is there any other guy who's your favorite? My
favorite Indian comedian would have to be probably two of my best friends, Jia Sethi and Pavitra, Shetty. They're two of my, we do some reels together and stuff, and they just make me laugh like all the time. And I think that's also like comedians, we sort of like find our other like really close comedian friends the funniest. And even though maybe they're not as like super famous, but we I don't know, like there's a weird thing I think with comics, we find
it's like a community.
Yeah, and there's like a comic, like I know so many comedians that haven't like will never be like sort of super famous, but they're like the funniest people, and they've just got this knack to like, you know, doing something weird on stage, or like I think most comics will be like, oh yeah, that guy from that open mic, he's the funniest guy, and like where most people like, I don't know who, like what are you talking about? So that's but they're two of my favorite comics in India, also because they're like my best friends. So
now let's talk about you being Australian.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
India loves Australia, right? In terms of competition, and especially in cricket.
Okay.
Tell me, do you know about Travis Head?
I do know about Travis Head.
What's his problem?
What's his problem? He's like the best, mate. Come on. I saw actually the game in 2023 when he basically just won it for Australia.
You watched or you enjoyed?
Oh, I enjoyed. I savoured that. I was like, like eating my dal tadka, right? Just like, it's so good. And
you were eating dal tadka?
Yeah.
I was and India Mumbai. Is losing.
I was in Mumbai when the games were happening at that time for Diwali. I was here, and I just remember I was like, I don't think I can go outside. I was like, can I put on a Canadian accent? Is this gonna I'm like just to be like I'm not Australian? I was scared. I was like, I thought.
Did you celebrate it after or not?
Of course, yeah. I was like, all my friends, I'm like, yeah, like, and but Travis Head, he's an amazing player. But I think also India has like incredible players as well. But I know how much Travis Head is a bit of a sore point for this country. Actually, my boyfriend just got a mustache recently when he was in Australia. He wanted to get a mullet and mustache, and he took the photo of Travis Head to the barber and said, make me look like this. And he came back with this horrible mustache. I was like, no. Like, no, leave that for Travis Head. That's enough. But yeah, I think he's a great player.
But I believe the why that win was so historical was that because it was a complete sea of blue. Like almost 1 lakh people in stadium, just blue. Like there were almost like 50 odd people Australians, including the team itself, right?
Yes.
And they got beaten, and that crowd.
I know. I think that was pretty historic, like, of that. But my favourite part of that was Modi giving them the trophy, and he just kind of throws it at them. That was my favourite bit. I was like, that's great. But I mean, most of the Aussie players, like, they come over here and play for IPL and stuff as well, because I think it's... I think even when Shane Warne did it back in the day and like all this sort of stuff. So I'm slowly getting my cricket knowledge up there, like, because I just grew up with Shane Warne. Like he was like kind of the big guy when I was growing up. And yeah, so we did watch cricket a little bit in Australia, but obviously not as intensely as India.
So apart from Australian cricketer, who's your favorite Indian cricketer?
Ooh, who's my favorite? Do you know what? I love Bumrah. Yeah. I think I have a thing, I think, for bowlers. I like the bowling aspect because also like Mitchell Starc, Australian. I really like him for some reason. I don't know. So I think I have an affinity to bowlers over batters, which is probably why maybe I don't like Travis Head. So like, he's a good player, but he's not my favorite.
Just because of the moustache, you get the plus point.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think Bumrah is very good. I'm still getting like, because it's sort of changed a little bit now. The team, like Kohli's sort of gone like for the test.
The Kohli's still there in ODIs at least.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So like my partner makes me watch Test cricket, so it's very different.
That's a good partner.
Yeah,
must
5
say,
days.
because that's the real cricket.
Exactly.
That's the real test.
Yes. But it's been good because my dad, he used to be a spin bowler, like, and he would play, and so my boyfriend and him like sort of connect on that. So they go to the Boxing Day test now every year and watch cricket together, which is very sweet. So because otherwise I'm not sure like how my dad and him would connect. So I'm glad they have cricket. So.
There's some common ground to play.
Exactly, and some rivalry as well, I think.
Okay. So back in Australia, which is the like biggest rivalry? India versus Australia in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, or the Ashes, the England one?
Do you know what? I think it's the Ashes, I would say. It's just, there's something about like Aussies and English, like the Poms we say, like that maybe I feel like maybe India and England might have as well. I don't know who's the biggest rival for India to play.
Certainly Pakistan.
Yeah, Pakistan, of course. Yeah,
right.
I was thinking that. But I think for that, Australia is with England, like, and there's just a lot of like sledging that happens, like on and off, and really a lot of bickering and a lot of banter. And I think that's what the Aussies really love about it. But maybe in a few years it'll pick up, and maybe like India, because India is such a great, like this Ashes was terrible. Like it just was, I mean, not for Australia, but
you won 4-1.
I know, and they should have won Boxing Day, but anyways.
Never mind.
Yeah. So, it's kind of, I think it would be the Ashes. But it was amazing. I went to the Boxing Day test in 2024 when India was playing Australia, and that was an amazing, like that vibe there was so cool. They had a lot of like DJs outside of the MCG playing like Indian, like Punjabi music, like all this, and I was like, it was a vibe. It was super, super fun.
Okay, so growing up, we've seen Ricky Ponting, Andrew Simons, and like Matthew Hayden.
Yeah.
And we used to think that Australia is a very bad team. They have very bad players, not like in terms of cricket, but they used to bully a lot entire world.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is it something Australian thing to bully people?
Maybe.
Because it's continuing still with Indians, especially with in Ashes series.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we all know about the whole sandpaper like incident, this kind of stuff. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit and defend the Aussie team, but I think I don't know. It's like the Australians are quite, I think because we're such a small country, like our country is 27 million for this thing, which is like Delhi, basically, like spread out across Australia. So I think there's like a lot more battle to be on the field, like, and to get a position or, I'm not really sure, but they can be bullying. Maybe just because I feel like they can because they had a good side or something. I don't know.
Okay. So it's not an Australian thing, it's just an Australian team thing.
I think it's a sport thing because we take sport very seriously. Like even, like I was saying a bit earlier, like they don't really respect the arts as much as what sport is, and sport is in everything. Like all my schooling was all kind of focused around sport, whether it's football, cricket, netball, swimming, like everything is very outdoor sport heavy, which for me, I was not a sport kid. I was like the arts kid. And so there's a lot of competition, and we take, like, even the Olympics, like, we take very seriously, and we go and, it's...
you get good medals.
Yeah. For a country of 27 million, I don't really understand how it works, but it's, we just, it's just in all our curriculum, and sport school is very important.
So in, like, short, I can say that Australia is a sporting country, right?
Yeah.
Like, you perform really good in football. You have, like, Australian Open in tennis. Then you have good players in Olympics, and certainly cricket is there. You're a kind of a sporting nation. India is a sporting nation in just cricket.
Yes.
In just cricket, right?
Yes.
Slowly and gradually we are focusing on other sports. But what's the one thing that India can learn from Australia in terms of sports?
Oh, in terms of sports? That is a good question. I think it's also the community of sport as well. Like, and I think there's so many, like we started playing in Mumbai, like a bunch of comics started playing badminton every day or like this. And so comics would just like drop in and out and like play it. And it's that sort of sense of community I think it builds, but it's also fun and fitness as well. So I think it's like, yeah, maybe that can be taken from it. Like you can really build such a beautiful community, not just in cricket, but in other, because I think the whole calendar of Australia is built around sport. So it's like tennis in January, then it goes into AFL, then it goes into like maybe a bit of rugby, but in Melbourne not so much. And then it goes into horse racing and then it goes into cricket season and then it starts again. So I think just like a sense of community. I mean, it is. It's like, let's go to the tennis, let's go to the football, let's go to the cricket. So yeah, I think a sense of community is a big thing and fun. Sport is fun.
Tell me, in India, have you seen any Bollywood movies or movies from South or so?
Oh wow, yes. I'm trying to like watch more. What was the one? I mean, I've seen sort of some classic ones. 3 Idiots I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, which is I had to watch that because my boyfriend went to IIT Delhi and I didn't know what IIT was.
Okay.
So he was trying to explain it to me and I don't know, the concept of it was I just didn't understand. He's like, it's a very good university. I'm like, okay, cool. So I watched 3 Idiots. I think the first kind of one I watched was Zindagi.
Na Milegi Dobara.
Yes, which is like classic. And that film was amazing. Like the story and everything in that was great. And I've seen a few other ones. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But I saw the one that was actually filmed in Chandigarh, the women's hockey team.
You checked the India.
Yes. Which is and they go to Australia in that one. So I think I've been shown a lot of Bollywood films that like go to Australia and stuff, and I was like, okay,
so that you can get related to.
Yeah, exactly. But I've seen a lot of stuff also like on Disney, like Hotstar and things like that since I've been here, and I just think like I mean, there's so many good movies, and like especially now like on Disney Hotstar and like is it OTC or like OTT? Yeah. The content is just amazing. Like it's it's super cool.
So you watched 3 Idiots. That's the most classic movie of Indian cinema.
Yeah.
What was the best scene? What was the best scene or what best thing you liked about that movie?
What was the best scene that I liked about the movie? What did I like about it? I think they go to the Himalayas. I watched it a couple of years ago now, so I'm like this. But for me, I think it was more, I just enjoyed seeing like what IIT was and the halls, because my boyfriend was trying to explain what it was like to be in the hostel and to like all this sort of stuff.
So you asked him that certain kind of ragging happened with you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was like, it was like, I don't think he was the cool kid at IIT, so, but that's okay. I mean, you know, he went to IIT, so it's like, I mean, I don't know if they're cool kids now, but back then, yeah. So yeah, that was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. Zindagi I loved as well, like just the whole like sort of touring around Europe and, you know, the Tom and Tina, like the tomato festival scene and this kind of stuff. So and I need to see a few more like Shah Rukh Khan films. That's like on the list of like to see a lot more like big dance scenes. The Bollywood dance scenes always get me. Like I forget which movie I watch, but I just like watch them and I'm like, this is so cool. Because it's so different from like Western cinema where it's like there's just not that. I mean, it's like, oh yeah.
So do you like miss all that dancing? What happens in Bollywood in the Western movies?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching musical theatre and like I studied musical theatre, went to university for musical theatre, which is pretty much the same thing. Like you just burst into song and dance at like random times. So for me, it doesn't feel so off. But it's just like, it's an amazing thing to like have so many colours and light and costumes and stuff. I actually had a friend, one of my very good friends is a dancer in Germany, and she came here for like 9 months as a dancer in Bollywood, and she was like, it was just the most amazing experience. So she was like that token white girl sometimes in the back of like dance scenes, and she just said it was like such a cool experience being able to do like Bollywood films and dancing. So yeah.
Okay. And tell me, you've been around the world, right? If you're okay to answer this question,
yes.
Tell me that who is the most easiest to date?
Easiest to date? Oh, damn. Easiest. The easiest to date. I would say it would probably be, I mean, it's going to be people from your own culture. I feel like Australians, even though I haven't dated an Australian for a very long time.
Okay.
But I also feel like probably from more like hotter countries, I would say. So like anywhere sort of near the equator. So a lot of like even like Spain, Italy, like these kind of things, depending on cultural differences, obviously. But I feel like sort of warmer countries have a bit more like pizzazz and they're like a little bit more chill and like this kind of vibe, as opposed to very like cold countries, I feel like. Because if you're cold all the time, I don't think you're happy all the time.
And tell me, where are the toughest, or I would say in your terms, idiot people to date?
Oh, idiot people. I don't think I'd say idiot, but I would say toughest for me, and I think I feel like dating an Indian now is like, it actually hasn't been that difficult culturally, I find, because like I said, Italia, like just similar kind of things. But I actually found dating Germans like the most like odd, because I was like, oh, you know, like we kind of look the same like this, like, and we'll be the same, I don't know, you would date the same. And yeah, they were just so like very like rigid, very routine based. And, you know, I remember the first date I went on with a German guy and he's like, yeah, Elena, what is your 5-year financial plan? And I was like, this is the first date. Like, so little things like that, like they'll ask very difficult questions at the beginning to figure out whether or not they want to date you can like onwards. And yeah, that's a bit like rough. So that I found the most difficult.
And apart from this one, was there any other bizarre date experience?
Bizarre date experience. Oh, I've had like so many, but a lot of them have come from living in Berlin, because it's such a multicultural city. So there's just so, like, even comedy wise, you'd be on a lineup with like people from countries like all around the world. But I think the Germans was always a funny one. And yeah, I don't know if I have like it's been a while since I've dated now. I've been with my partner. I'm like, what is dating? Like, what is this? But I do remember when I actually came to Mumbai for the first time, 2023, and I was single at that time, and I downloaded Bumble, and within 4 hours of being on Bumble, I had 19,000 matches. Like it just kept going.
19,000
matches. Like it just kept going and going and going. I like even screen recorded it and sent it to my friend. I was like, "Girl, you got to get to Mumbai. Like this is insane." And I just kept going and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it just kept going. And I was like, "Wow!" Like it was crazy. So yeah.
Okay, out of those 19,000 people, was there any date? I'm sure there must be like 4 to 5 dates.
There was one date. I went on one date.
I
went on one date. Yeah.
What a filtration.
I didn't have a lot of time, to be honest. Like I had to keep it. Like I was there. I think I was in Mumbai for like 5 days. So I went on a date with a guy, and it was very fun. Like but yeah, apart from that, it was I was just like 19,000. That's crazy. Like, and then I make a joke about it in my show. Like, and then I went to Bangkok afterwards, and I got like 2 matches, and they were also Indian as well. So I was like, oh, okay, all right. So just like that was kind of a fun experience. That was probably, I think, the last time I properly dated was like in
I can tell you why it happened. Because you're an ideal match for Indians.
Oh, really?
Do you know why?
No, why?
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yes. I know, it's like, it's weird to like that this blonde, like even my my partner's nephew, he's like 3, and I was like, what eye color do I have? And he was just mesmerized. He's like, oh, blue. And I was like, yeah. Like, so, I mean, it's like we're in a country of everyone who has brown eyes. It's very, anomaly. And obviously having blonde hair, which is sort of real.
Not colored and all.
Yeah.
Okay. So apart from comedy, is there anything that you have planned in your career that, all right, I'll do that one as well, like investment or something else, or like movies and all? Because a lot of comedians are coming into movies.
Yes, I think it's kind of the natural progression. For me, it's hard because I'm always on the road. Like I haven't really had a chance to like stop. But actually the plan this year is to move to Mumbai, so with my partner. So yeah, maybe it'd be cool to get back into like writing. I used to do a lot of like writing and TV shows and this kind of stuff. So it'd be cool to kind of get back into that and maybe, I don't know, maybe write a sitcom about a white girl moving to India with her boyfriend. Could be, I don't know, it could be fun.
It will be fun, certainly. All right, so thank you so much, Elena, for coming to our studios. It was fun chatting with you.
Yes.
And I hope I see you in a Bollywood movie very soon.
Thank you very much. I'll get all my dancing ready. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.